What's up, guys? Welcome back to Hero Review. In today's Hero Review, we have a very special guest. This hero has had a huge impact on the Guardian Tales story. Without her, there'd be no tale to tell in this game. She's initially introduced as an evil character who disrupts the peace of Canterbury Kingdom. But as the story progresses, it turns out she's simply someone longing for a peaceful place to live after her homeland became uninhabitable. If you're a player who's invested in Guardian Tales or you've seen the title of this video, you already know who I'm referring to. Yes, it's the myth, the magnificent, the legend herself. Beth, the former 13th Corps commander of the invaders. Oh my gosh, look at her 6-star form. Now that's what a commander should look like.
Yeah, keep glazing her, bro.
Shut up. All right, now that we finally got her to 6-star, we're going to review her in some game modes. Is she just hype or is she actually a good hero? Let's find out. Beth's kit. I'm just going to point out the important ones so the duration of this video isn't that long. She has a 30% dark element resistance debuff and a 10% attack reducing debuff from her sub-skill. She also has an attack increasing buff of 20%, up to 60%, depending on the number of enemies within 4 tiles, and a 40% melee attack buff from her chain skill, but those are only for herself. Her leader skill gives a 20% attack buff to all allies. What's interesting is that she has a special targeting mechanic toward ranged heroes. Well, it's not new information. I just wanted to share it with you guys. By looking at her kit, we can see that she can be useful in Guild Raid, Boss Rush, Colosseum, Arena, and maybe all PvE content. Holy shit! She's an all-content hero! Praise the former 13th Corps commander! Anyway, this is how her normal attack looks. I think it's a bit clunky. Playing her in survival game or ancient ruins might feel uncomfortable. This is her sub-skill. This is her chain skill. And finally, her leader skill. Wow, so cool, so amazing. I'm glad I'm evolving her to 6-star.
Yeah, keep glazing her.
Shut the fuck up. Let's test her in Colosseum. Well, of course, because she has a special targeting mechanic and those debuffs in her kit, she's undoubtedly great for this content. So what matters now are 1. How to use her. 2. Which team should we use her in? And 3. Which team should we attack when using her? Let's start with number 1. First, her build. This is my Beth build in Attack and Defense Colosseum. Second, her positioning. Avoid putting her on a tile where she could get body blocked. Beth always targets the nearest ranged hero, so if you place her right in front of that hero while a tank is chasing her in the same line, the tank will potentially block her path and she'll ignore the ranged target. Sometimes the AI still messes up anyway, so pray for good RNG. Moving on to number 2. Which team should we use her in? There are plenty of teams you can pair her with, but I recommend copying a defense team from one of the top 20 players. As for attacking, it depends on what team your opponent is running. So let's move on to which teams you should attack when you use her. In my opinion, the best team to attack is one whose leader is a ranged hero that needs 2 weapon skills to trigger their chain skill, like Arabelle. Why? Because after Beth eliminates the other ranged hero, her targeting locks onto the leader and she can finish them off before they launch their second weapon skill to stun her. For teams I don't recommend attacking are those led by a support hero and those whose ranged hero leader can trigger their chain skill with just 1 weapon skill. However, that doesn't mean you have to avoid those teams altogether. You can still beat them with a different strategy. Let me explain while I show you the gameplay. First, we're gonna attack the easiest target, which is Arabelle. I'm gonna attack the stronger one, cause I'm not a pussy! I'm using PD as bait so that my Beth can avoid Daisy's taunt. When doing that, make sure you don't block Daisy's path because it'll make her use her taunt quicker. Next, we're gonna attack the team I told you not to. Here's what happens when you attack a team whose leader is a support hero. Beth will shift her target to a tank after she eliminates all the ranged heroes. To counter that, you need to change your own leader. I'll use Arabelle here because she can avoid Ava's weapon skill, and hopefully Beth will distract that skill away. Nice. Beth's distraction succeeded. And yes, you can use the same tactic to beat a party leader like Yunha. In conclusion, yes, she's very useful in the Colosseum. Make her the leader when you find the easy targets I mentioned, and run her as a party member when you want to bait the opponent's weapon skill. Next content, Arena. I think she's great on small maps, but on large maps with many obstacles I don't recommend using her. That's because her attack pattern feels clunky. When Beth performs her combo, she pauses briefly before the next hit, which makes it hard for the player to maneuver her and keep up with the opponent. Plus, her normal attack isn't like Plague Doctor. This is the build I use. And these are the comps I like. In conclusion, she is good on small area maps, but I'm still not sure she's a meta. Next content, Guild Raid and Boss Rush. Bruh. I don't need to spell it out. Yes, she's good. Plus, we don't have any 6-star dark-ranged heroes for Raid right now, so running a melee team is a must. These are the teams I use for Boss Rush and Guild Raid. Okay, next up, Tale of Teetus Hero. Right now, I'm still stuck on stage 820. Let's see if our upgraded Beth can carry me to the highest stage.
2 hours later.
Nice! Let's go, guys! Beth really carried me all the way to the highest floor. This is the specialty I use. And this is my team build, in case you want to know. Okay, since Beth is clearly powerful and seems viable in every game mode, we're gonna test her in Orbital Lift. Can she carry me far enough to get my name on the list of unemployed people? Let's see. Alright, we start from floor 970.
4 hours later.
Well, on some floors, we can't really rely on her, but you can count on her as leader when there's a tough enemy with ranged attack negation shield. So I think it's fair to say she successfully carried me, right up to the point where my name is officially written on the list of unemployed people. I am so happy. With that being said, the players who benefit the most from evolving her and her weapon to 6-star are mid-game and end-game players. She's an all-content hero, so there's no need to specify a content focus. Oh, praise the former 13th Corps Commander Beth! If you guys want to correct me in case I made a mistake, or if you have any questions or even you want to share your knowledge, feel free to comment below. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.